You know that time is everything. So we're going to comp out properties and make sure that you are cut. I did everything myself in here. That is not how you do the business. And that right there is a house that I have already flipped as well. And I already know that I can flip this house to a buyer on my buyers list because I got a strong buyers list in this area. Hey guys, today it is System Saturday, the day that I bring you a system that I use right inside my business that you can take it, rip it off, duplicate it, use in your own local real estate market. On today's session, what we're going to be talking about is all about comping out properties or finding comparables of homes. Congratulations, if you're a realtor, you're going to use comping out properties to make sure that you're not getting in bad listings, meaning that if you have a seller call you and they are asking way over asking price for their home or whatever, it's going to keep you out of those deals. If you're a real estate investor, what comping out properties is going to do, it's just going to basically make sure that you get into a good deal and that you are going to profit on your deal and you know what you're going to be able to sell your property for. That is what comping out a property means, is finding out, kind of getting an appraisal of what you can sell that property for. Very, very easy to do. Okay, so there's two places to actually do this at. The first place to get a very, very quick comparable is Zillow.com. Do not trust Zillow.com. I can promise you that. Do not trust it. It is a website that you can go to get a very quick and what they call a Zestimate. Okay, and it's very, very simple. All you do, go into Zillow.com, and I'm not even going to show it on my computer screen, but all you do at Zillow.com is you put in the address and it will literally give you all the homes around it, what the Zestimate is of those homes. Again, it is a very, very quick estimate. It is not very accurate. So don't put that like it is that true number, because it's always inflated, I can tell you that. The best place to go through and find comparable homes is by far the MLS. You do have to be a licensed realtor or know a licensed realtor in order to get access into the MLS. The MLS stands for the Multiple Listing Service. Every realtor that is a licensed realtor has access to the MLS, and that is what you want to use whenever you are comping out properties, because that is the most accurate data that you can possibly get. It's what everybody uses to do it, so make sure whenever you're trying to get a real number for what a property is worth and what you will be able to sell a property, always use the MLS. Here's how you do it. All right, so we have just opened up our local MLS. So we are licensed realtors here, and so we do have our own access into the MLS. If you are not a licensed realtor, don't freak out or anything like that, because you can have a licensed realtor go through and pull the comparables very, very simply for you. Here's how we do it. In order to have the property that you're trying to get a good value for, to find out if it is a good price, all you need to do is you need to know that address, okay? You need to know that address. Now, what you want to do is you want to go to searches and you want to do what's called a radius search around that property. So in layman's terms, what that means is you're going to do a search for around a quarter mile out around a certain subject property to find out what all the active homes are, what all the pending homes are, and then what all the homes that have sold in that area within a quarter mile of your subject property within the last 6 months. Okay, those are going to be your stats right there. Okay, so once you get here, we're going to do a search right here, a radius search, a quarter mile out. Now, if you're in hillbilly land in Ohio or somewhere like that where you got a lot of them there cornfields, then you're might have to go out a half mile or even go out to a mile. And where I personally live in Ohio, we have to go out 2 miles because I don't live around hardly anything. Okay, but in this case, we're buying a house today, and I'm just going to show you why I know that we are getting into a great deal. Okay, I'm going to show you why we are getting into a great deal, and I'm going to comp it out right now. So I'm going to do a search around this subject property of a quarter mile around it, and then I'm going to put in the address right here, 1937, same year that I was born, Commonwealth. okay, and this is in Xenia, Ohio. This is a property that we are buying today, and it's in Ohio. I'm gonna click all the residential properties that are single family because that's what my home is, and then I'm just gonna go down here and I'm gonna search all the properties that are active, active pending, pending, and then all the homes that are sold. And then what it does in our MLS is it will go back 6 months for you, okay, on the pending and on the sold. Really, to be honest with you guys, whenever you are comping out a property and trying to get a good value for it, you don't want to go anything past 6 months. So you don't want to go out a year, you don't want to go out 2 years and find out what the homes were selling for. 6 months is about the number, and you're looking for the most recent is what you're really honestly looking for. Once we have this in here, again, the active pending, the pending, and then the sold properties, we're just gonna click preview count right here, find out how many there is. I believe there was 8, and yes, there is 8 right here. And we're just gonna see the results, okay? So in reality, what this did was it took the 1937 Commonwealth Drive, which is the one that we are buying today, and it took that property and it went out a quarter mile around it, and it is telling me all the activity a quarter mile around it, meaning that there's a newly active home right here on Colorado Drive. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and it's 1,084 square foot for $68,000, okay? And here's the date that it went up on the market. Actually, just 4 days ago. Okay, so this is all the comps. This is all the comparable homes. Now, whenever you are buying a house or whether you're listing a house, as a realtor, you don't really pay too much attention to the active listings, okay? You don't pay too much attention to that because really, to be honest with you, an active listing is just kind of a suggestion of what the sales price is gonna be. The true comp, the true comparable is going to be the solds, and you can pay more attention to the pending. So you want to pay more attention to the pending, but the most attention to all the sold properties. We typically always like to see, whenever we're buying a property or whether we're listing a property at Homebackers Realty, whatever, we typically always like to see at least 1 pending comp, and we always like to see at least 2 sold comps within a quarter mile away from the property, because that gives us a good, true assumption of what our subject property will be able to sell for. In this particular case, this property is 1937. This is the subject property. This is right here is the property that we are buying right here. This is it, okay? This is the one right here. Okay, now here you're gonna notice something here. Now, I bought this property right today for $51,000 or $52,000, okay? But it's up on the market for $70,000. So what this tells me is that whenever I bring this right straight back to the market, whenever I take this back to the market, what will I be able to sell it at? Okay, so I immediately look at the bedrooms and then I look at the square footage. So we got a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and this home is 1,592 square foot. Okay, so that is my subject property, and it's up for $70,000. Now, if I go and look at all the sold properties, there's 2 of them. There's one on 1907 Atkinson Drive. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath, 925 square foot, and it sold for $72,100 in 75 days. CDOM, current days on market. Okay, so it took 75 days and it sold for $72,100, but our property is about 600, 700 square foot more. It has another half bath and it has another bedroom. So obviously I can tell here that this one on Atkinson, my property is worth more than that one because I have more bedrooms, I have more bathrooms, and I definitely have a lot more square foot. Here's another one. Here's another sold property right here on Westbury Court. It's another 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,213 square foot, and this one sold in 10 days for $75,000. Now, I really, really like that, and I like it for a couple reasons. Because the square footage is more, okay, so it's still less than what my property, my subject property is, but then it has 1 less bedroom and 1 less half bathroom. So obviously mine is gonna still be worth more than $75,000. So I'm just gonna take a quick look at this one because it's honestly gonna be one of my best sold comparables. okay, for 75 grand. So I'm just gonna look at this. I'm gonna see what the outside looks like compared to mine. Okay, great property description. Apparently they didn't go to John Cochran's school of writing property descriptions. Motivated seller. Boy, you gave me a great reason to buy that property. Anyways, here it is, and here's the property. It's sold for cash, so I do like that. So that tells me that there's cash buyers in this area for 75 grand. And it sold in 10 days again, and then they've only got one picture. So they broke about every single rule that I ever have taught and that we ever do at our company, but they got the property sold. So it's nothing special. It looks like they had a converted garage as well right here, that they just got like a screen door. Maybe it's a screen door in front of it. I don't know what it is, okay? However, when I go back to this and I look at our comparable one, the one that I am buying, that's a 4-bed, 1.5 bath, I can see that this is a buy level. So that was not a good comparable of a home, but it still sold for like 75 grand. It did it in 10 days, so that I know that I got this thing under contract for 52,000. So I know that I got myself into a great deal already. Okay, so the comps so far are working out. That is an amazing countertop, by the way. Anybody wants that, I will give that to anybody for free. I'm not going to charge for it. You do have to pick it up in the beautiful city of Xenia, Ohio, so you do have to pick it up though. But anyways, I'm just looking here, and mine's a lot bigger. You can obviously tell. Bi-level size right here, and then it has newer vinyl, newer windows, everything like that. So if I go back to my list right here, I see those two sold comps, 75 grand, 10 days. I like it because mine is still better than that for the 75 grand. Now if I go right here to some more active comps, okay, so if I start looking a little bit deeper into this, I'm going to see that there is one pending on the same road that mine is. So same exact road. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1692 square foot. So it has a little bit more square footage, but I have one more bedroom than it. That is going to be my best comp, and it's pending right now for 82.9. So if I look at that picture of this, I'm going to see here, this is a tri-level, not a bi-level, but it's a tri-level. So it does look like it has been renovated to some extent right here. So it does look like it has been renovated to some extent. But it is one of my best comps because the square footage is dead on, the bedrooms is one less, and then the bathrooms is right dead on, okay, in the same exact street. So that is my best comp for this, and it's pending right now, okay, and that is, it went up on the market for 82.9. Now if I go through here and I look at the active comps, these are kind of just dreamers, I guess you'd say, right now. 1459, this is going to be another great comparable. This is a bank-owned property, and I do know this because this is a bank-owned property. I know this straight from this window right here. But this is going to be another good comparable to this. So another bank-owned property for 84.9. That will probably sell pretty quick, same square footage. So I know that my property right here, you can based upon what I see here, my property is worth over 75,000, and it is and there's pending properties for 82.9. And there's active properties that have literally just got active with the same square footage with one less bedroom for 80 in the mid-80s, 84.9, 89.9. Okay, so I could put a very quick John's estimate on this property of over 75,000, but under 85,000. That's about where I want to be on this. Okay. Now, anybody that knows anything about this is a HUD property that I am buying on Commonwealth, and what my strategy is I want to take all of my properties and sell them cheaper than what HUD sold them or had them up on the market for. So I put this under contract for like 52,000, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right back to the market for either 64.9 or 69.9. Okay, and it's probably going to be the 64.9, and here's why. Okay, whenever I go and I look at this and somebody else does a comparable for this property, they're going to see that the lowest thing up on the market is 68,000. I want to beat that. I want to beat that, and I want to be the cheapest thing on the market for the most bedrooms and the most square footage because I'm guaranteed to make a sale on it. Okay? So I'm guaranteed to make a sale on it. So very, very quickly, what I'm gonna do is just going to put a price tag on mine for $64,900, and then I know that I bought it for $52,000. Okay, so I know, does anybody disagree with those numbers based upon the way that I just showed you how to comp these properties out? Absolutely not, because that is a great number for it. So keep in mind, whenever you are comping properties out, you always need to look for at least one active comp, you're looking for at least one pending comp, and you want to find at least 2 sold comps. If they don't have that, don't get involved with the deal. Don't get involved with the deal. Don't try to make a deal out of nothing. I tried to do that for the first 8 years I was in business, and I'm lucky I didn't have to file bankruptcy or foreclosure, okay? But that's the whole truth of it. Don't try to make a deal out of just these numbers. Make sure that it is a deal. So 2 sold comps, 1 pending comp, and at least an active comp, and then you know that you got a solid deal, and you can get a true value for that. So the last thing that I want to do, just since I am showing you this particular property, is I want to show you how I know what I'm going to make on this property by a deal analyzer that I have created. Okay, I've got a ton of windows open right now, but I want to show you how I already know what I'm going to make on this property from a deal analyzer that I've created. And for everybody that goes through and comments on this video, I'm going to give you this deal analyzer. I'm going to give you this deal analyzer. So here it is. So here's how I know what I'm going to make on this particular property right before I got into it. So I'm just going to put right here 1937, same year that I was born, Commonwealth. Okay, in Xenia, single family home. This is a buy level. This is a selling deal analyzer. Buyer agent name is actually my mother. And today's date, put the first, which it is not the first. The purchase price. So what this means is what I'm going to be selling it for. And again, everybody that comments on this video and tells me what they think of these System Saturdays, I'm going to give you access to this Excel spreadsheet right here. Purchase price, what I'm going to sell it for, $64,900. Okay. Total amount owed, which was $52,000. That's what I bought it for, $52,000. Realtor commission, am I going to be paying a realtor commission, or am I going to sell it to my list? I always do the worst case scenario that I'm going to pay a realtor commission of at least 3% on this. Now, what I'm going to do is, instead of paying 3% on this, which would be over $1,500, I'm going to offer a flat fee of $1,500 for the realtors. The annual property taxes, how much is that running? So I'm just going to do a quick search for this and find out what the annual property taxes are on this property. 648 times 2, so I'm just going to put that they are $1,400, which obviously is inflated, but I'm making sure that I'm getting into a good deal, so I'm just going to put $1,500 annually. Closing month and number, this is July, so obviously that would be a 7. 6 would be June, 1 would be January, so I'm going to put a 7 right there. And proration type, you always want to do this as long. Owner's insurance, am I going to pay owner's insurance when I sell it? Yes, $300 is what we pay. Buyers paid a closing cost, I'm not going to pay anything because I'm going to get a cash buyer, because you saw a comp there for that. And miscellaneous expenses, I personally am not going to have any on this. If you'd have any miscellaneous expenses where the buyer asked you to pay for something or something like that, all miscellaneous expenses will go right straight there. I'm going to scroll right down here, and it flat out tells me that I am going to be making $9,834.90 on this property based upon these numbers, okay? So at the end of the day, I'm going to, because I do get a realtor commission when I do buy this property, we're going to have right around $50,500 in this property. So $50,500 in this property. I scroll right down. So we're going to make a little bit over $11,000 on this particular deal, selling it at the $64,900. So that's how we comp out properties, okay? That's how we comp out properties, guys. And I can tell you that you make sure that you get in a good deal by comping out properties, and by far the best place to do it is the MLS. All right, I'm here. So I'm here. This is the property that we just comped out. You seen it? I just bought this thing. And guys, you have to comp your properties out in order to make sure that you're getting into a good solid deal. This right here is a good solid deal. This is a good solid deal. My numbers do nothing but work on this. So I bought it cheap, and what I'm going to do is next week, okay, next week, first of all, I want you to comment on the video below, okay? Comment on the video below and let me know what you think of these System Saturdays. I'm going to give you that selling deal analyzer so that you can buy properties like this with confidence, okay, and know what you're gonna be making on every single one of your deals. Whether you're a realtor, real estate investor, it doesn't matter. You need to get your hands on it. So for everybody that leaves a comment on the video below, you're gonna get that selling deal analyzer for free. There's nothing to buy. I'm gonna just email it straight out to you. Now, keep in mind that we are already at this house, okay? I am at this house, and on next week's System Saturday session, guys, I'm gonna show you how we take this property and how I market this property, the 15 steps that I use every single time to market all of my properties to get them sold in 7 days or less. So stay tuned to next week's System Saturday session, because I'm telling you, it's gonna blow your mind when you see all the steps that I use to market all my properties and sell them in 7 days or less. Comment on the video below, get your hands on that spreadsheet, and check out how I do it next week on next week's System Saturday session.